me, Palindrones was born during a very strange moment for the world, the pandemic. How did that context shape the way you created and connected as a band?
Well, we were on opposite sides of London. Um, we were both in different bands at the time, but obviously not a lot was happening. And we were just sending each other music generally. And then Jamie sent me a track that he was working on, his own personal project, which I don't know how long you called it, Palindrones. How long it's been?
I'd started using the name Palindrones in like 2015, but it was kind of more of a bedroom, just me learning how to produce electronic music. I didn't really do anything with it properly. I was kind of did it at the same time as playing in like punk bands, and then because obviously lockdown changed what we were able to do as people, it kind of afforded me the opportunity to just sit at home and kind of work out how to do electronic music production. And you know, I had the time to do that. So I started working on a song, and I just thought that Karen's voice would, you know, fit like beautifully on it. And so we just like bounced it back and forth. And that was like the first song that we wrote together. It's called Sectio Aurea. And we just bounced it back and forth until it became, you know, a fully realized piece of music.
And your name points to ideas of symmetry and reflection. Is that concept still a core part of how you think about palindromes today?
Yeah. Just like it's like the repeating patterns that you see in nature, right from, you know, a snail shell or the arrangement of pollen on a flower, to, you know, galaxies. It's kind of the same. Everything's the same. Everything reflects itself, and that's kind of, to me, that's what the name means.
Yeah, so I think in our music, there's we repeat sections and we loop sections, and then that evolves into a bigger section and something different. And I think everything feels like an evolution in that way, which is what nature is about as well.
It's a very beautiful meaning. Your music sits somewhere between the physical and the emotional, between the dance floor and introspection. Where do you feel palindromes truly belongs?
I think live for us is very important. I think live we can like communicate the energy more strongly and bring in visual elements as well. But at the same time, I think we want music that people can just get lost in at home. I think for us, when we call it immersive music, is we want people just to be able to get lost in it, and people say that to us.
I think that, you know, a lot of it is open to interpretation. So even it's like everybody's relationship with it is different, and so it means whatever the listener wants it to mean. And so it doesn't. For me, I don't want to say where it sits, because I don't want to control what anybody else, how anybody else experiences it. So it's like whatever people get from it, that's what it means.
Yeah, there's no one way. I think it could, however, exactly that. There's no one way to enjoy our music. I want people just to take what they can from it, really.
Yeah, it's like there's you know, there's what it means to me, and it means one thing to me, but I don't want to dictate what that means to anybody else, because then that's taken away from their, like, the sort of the feedback of experience, because other people's interpretation of it is as important to me as my own. Do you know what I mean?
I think those pictures that you've got behind you, paintings, pictures, I don't know what they are. Fits a lot with your music.
I mean, So I think we're both really into sort of sci-fi fantasy, and so I guess a lot of the artwork that we choose is that theme as well. It's like I think that this one's from Dark Crystal, which is yeah, an amazing well, was it puppetry
Yeah.
fantasy film, and then Netflix did one series that was amazing, and they used the original puppets, and then they cancelled it, which is gutting because it was so good.
Cancelled it on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's sort of like escapism. I think like a lot of the themes it in our music is all about escapism. So I think like the sci-fi and fantasy elements that we brought into the iconography of the band, it's all about escapism. It comes from a personal place, but that's, I guess that's what art is all about for me anyway. It's like expressing things, but I don't want to. But again, because I want people to be able to experience it however they want to, I don't necessarily want to just say this is exactly what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
Because I want to know what you're feeling, and I want to know how that is invoked in you. So the concept of like escapism and sci-fi and fantasy, that's how that ties into it, because it's all like it's like analogues for different subjects, and like references and metaphors.
You work a lot with ideas of consciousness, duality, anima, and animus. Do the concepts come before the music, or do they emerge afterwards?
Oh, both really. I think. I don't know. I mean, when he starts off with the musical, the seed of the idea of how the song's going to start. And I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you think you've got the idea? Where does that come from? I think you'd have to answer that.
Yeah, usually the sort of the genesis of each of the song, I kind of start it, and then we bounce it back and forth. And I think, and that process has stayed the same, even though we live together now. We're not on opposite sides of London, but that process has still stayed the same. And it's yeah. I think it does differ, because sometimes I have I've got a theme, and then I'm searching for something to fit to that theme, or sometimes I like the sort of the first part of the musical idea is what inspires the theme, because it inspires a sense of a feeling in me that then makes me want to explore that concept, and then we start talking about the concepts, the connection to the like collective consciousness and stuff like that, and like the archetypes that we see in stories like for thousands of years, and we'll then start to talk about those concepts and ideas and magic and all that kind of stuff, and then we bring and fold it into it. So sometimes wanting to tell a story is what inspires the music, but then sometimes the music triggers the feelings to tell the story. So there is no, again, it's like this looping repetition, so there's no one way.
Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 clearly form a narrative arc. Is the story fully mapped out, or is it still evolving?
It's always evolving. Yeah, we never have a final. There's no end. It's continuous. And there is, the question: will there be a chapter 3, or are we going to start something new? We're not sure.
Yeah.
I think when we did chapter 1, we just had too many songs to fit on one chapter, and that's why it became chapter 2, which ended up taking us a lot longer than we originally thought it would.
Because then that kept growing.
Yeah.
And developing, and so yeah, with like the story, there's kind of, when we first started to come up with the idea of the concept, like the concept album, the story behind it, there is a beginning and a middle and an end, and we know what that is, but then as we're writing more songs, and it's developing. The tail grows with the telling.
It's where the journey's going.
Yeah.
Is what keeps growing, I think.
Yeah. So every time I think it's finished and we've actually like told this story, actually we aren't, because there's like more elements and I'm doing spin-offs and prequels.
Yeah. I think we are definitely both quite we have lots of ideas constantly all the time, and we're creating all the time, and we're both like that with all aspects in our lives. So I think that's why we work really well together, because we drive each other forward constantly and encourage each other. And yeah.
I think there's like with that as well, you know, art, it kind of, rather than, you know, if you do it like when you're doing a sculpture, you've got a piece of stone or a piece of clay, and the finished piece of art reveals itself. So I think sometimes like over time, you know, we've mapped out this idea of a beginning and an end, but then the more we do it, the more meaning develops and through the themes, and like maybe it can end up meaning something totally different to what it meant when we started to write it.
That's true.
Or like an extra layer of significance to a concept like reveals itself like over time. So yeah, nothing's ever finished. It's just we have to move on from it eventually. But like, you know, even the way we approach things like remixes, we'll do our own remixes of our songs, but then other artists will do remixes of our songs. So you know, it's never finished.
Sonically, you balance driving beats with almost cinematic atmospheres. What does your songwriting and production process usually look like?
So I think we touched on this, how Jamie starts the essence of an idea.
Yeah, usually I'll just be like noodling around on the production software that I use, just coming up with ideas. There's more ideas than songs that we've got. I think like I do have this like constant flow of ideas, which is why that's kind of usually where they start, and then it's picking the one that then Karen connects with.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'll be, usually so we're both working from home, and I'm a graphic designer, so I'm usually on my computer just working away whilst I can hear Jamie coming up with ideas, and I'll like comment and go, oh, I like this, and let's work on that one, and
then that's the ones that we focus on.
Yeah, and then so I will then suggest, maybe if I kind of hear a bit of a melody, think like let's get a synth melody and lead a melody in there, and I will have a think about vocal melodies, which whilst I'm sitting listening to it straight away, I've got ideas in my head which I'll suggest, and then think about the themes that it's inspiring, and then I'll sit down and come up with some lyric ideas, so it's kind of backwards and forwards of.
It's completely collaborative. There's no one person, like we are a unit, you know. There's no one person that leads it. It's completely collaborative.
And there is a strong ritualistic feeling in some of your tracks. Do you see music as something close to a ceremonial or transformative experience?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's particularly live, there's it's ritualistic, like, you know, drumming up that sense of kind of collective like unity and experiencing euphoria together. It's kind of like I approach live shows as like a magical ritual that like we're starting, but we started, but we're not finishing it. We finish it together.
Exactly, and I think we want it to feel like a collaborative experience with the audience, and as a performer, I like to see the audience. I like to try and communicate with them, and like and sing to them, sing with them, and bring them in to feel like they're part of the experience. And it's like, I think, you know, you feed off the audience's energy, and that could be in a big room with a massive audience, amazing, but even a really small room with just a few people, and just have that connection with them, to me is part of the ritual, and they're in that ritual with us. So yeah, I think also the beats that we have, I think that gives it that kind of ritualistic vibe as well.
I think there's an element of, it's like collective hypnosis,
Yeah,
which is why the beats is like there's a repetition to the beats, and that's intentional. Like, you know, I think that for me the best gigs are the ones where I've completely almost entered like a dream state, and I think that's the intention. It's kind of like a liminal space between consciousness and awareness.
yeah,
That's the sweet spot for me.
yeah, exactly. And it just should feel natural, I think. I don't want to feel, yeah, for me, I mean, I love performing, and it is just that that feeling that it's just a natural thing to do, not that we're putting on a show, we're putting on a performance, and it has to be like this way. It's just, yeah, just
That's what the music, like that's what the music does to us.
yeah,
And that's what our intent is for the music to do for all of us that are in the room together. It's like it's not like an audience stood watching us. We're all part of an experience together.
definitely, that's it.
And which artists or scenes have influenced you the most, both within and outside the dark electronic world?
Oh gosh, it's like, where do we start? So yeah, we were initially in punk bands, so that scene that we were in London, was a very fun, lively scene, and for me, yeah, I think X-Ray Specs, it's like those sort of groundbreaking female, like strong female artists, and Slits, and those. I think that's, at that point, they were really inspiring to me. And I was a synth player, and I played the theremin, so for me it was about being experimental as well. So I think that's where I started.
Yeah, and I you know, from being a teenager, I played in metal bands and punk bands and post-punk bands, on guitar, bass and drums, and then I kind of started. I particularly with the bass and guitar, I started to kind of try to make them sound like synthesizers, like all the effects. I really got into shoegaze and post-rock, and so I was kind of like trying to create these like walls of noise, and then it's like, well, actually, that's already what a synthesizer does, which is what kind of then started to make me lean into playing synthesizer. But I think like the biggest influence on me probably is Trent Reznor, Nine Inch Nails, and like The Cure as well. Like kind of like the sense from The Cure that you get of like the happy sad feeling, that kind of sort of glorious melancholy. That's that you get from like Plain Song by The Cure. That's my favorite Cure song. And I think that's something that I've tried to imbue into the music that I write with Palindrones. But then, you know, I still, even though I don't really listen to metal music anymore, one of my favorite bands is still Meshuggah. And I think that even, you might not think it at first listen with Palindrones, but the way that Meshuggah use rhythm and percussion, like everything in Meshuggah is a percussion instrument, even the guitars. And I think like that approach rhythms, like the polyrhythms that Meshuggah use are just amazing. And I don't listen to metal anymore, but Meshuggah I still listen to. Even yesterday, actually, I was listening to it.
I think as a vocalist, I'm really big on melody, and I think my inspirations would definitely be singers like Bjork and Kate Bush. But we look into more of the goth side of things. Cocteau Twins, the ethereal vocals that Liz Fraser has, I love. So I love playing with highs and lows with my vocals. Susie Sue, massive fan of Susie Sue, from her style to her voice, to her lyrics, everything. So she's a big influence for me. So I think, yeah, that we both have a lot of bands that obviously don't like to call themselves goth, goth bands. This is a Mercy. I'm a fan of Typo Negative. Yeah, loads of, yeah, the Damned I really like. So yeah, we've got a lot of old school goth influences for sure. But yeah, then we can move into like more modern stuff that we listen to now, like quite a lot of Witch House.
Yeah, Portwave. I don't know if you know Portwave. Portwave is a Witch House artist that's really cool.
Yeah, but then we like listen to the Jungle.
Yeah, there's definitely some breakcore.
Yep.
Like Venetian Snares.
I think this is the thing, right? We listen to so much different music with different types of beats. I think so that comes across in our music. There's a lot of variety in our music, which I know confuses some people because they don't know they don't know where to put us. People like to put you in a box, and we don't fit in a box. And we're never going to try to fit in a box. We just do the music that comes naturally to us, which is what you hear from everything we listen to. Yeah.
But that is good because you can get more fans.
Yeah, exactly. I like to think that more people connect with us because they'll hear hints of something that they're familiar with, but then that might grab them, and then they'll hear different things. Yeah.
Yeah, there's even there's like neoclassical elements to some of the tracks that with the more piano and sort of like the more ambient pieces. And so I think it's that's true. It's like there's elements of like dark wave, there's elements of like breakcore, there's elements of more sort of traditional goth, there's elements of like trance. It's all peppered through it. So we've got like there is something for everybody, and it's packaged in a certain way. It's packaged in the kind of like in more of a goth look, but there's something for, like, I don't want to close the door on anybody.
Yeah.
And which of your songs do you enjoy playing on stage the most?
I mean, I think for me it's always the newest song. And I think you would agree for both of us is the Breitling Star, which was our last release.
I think for different reasons as well. I mean, it's kind of the new shiny thing because it's the most recent song that we've released, the Breitling Star. But also, I think that the themes behind that song encapsulate this idea of unity. The two become the many, become the one. That's the kind of most crystallized encapsulation of the meaning behind Palindrones. And then there's like, for me as well, there's another song from the album that we released last year. It's called Azathoth. I really enjoy playing that live as well because that really is tribal and like that really drums up this sense of ritual. Like it's presented in that way, and it's like I play like live drums on that, like a live tribal drum on that song and everything. So I think for me, Breitling Star and Azathoth.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say the same. I think, yeah, for Agathos, for me, it's got like a real punk sort of energy to it, which is always fun to perform.
Yeah, it's one of the more kind of aggressive ones.
Yeah, the Brightling Star. I mean, there's some really fun vocal melodies for me to sing. Some really percussive elements, and I think yeah, there's a bit of audience sort of interaction. We try and get them to join in, so it's nice getting that energy off them. I quite like Abraxas as well, a song called Abraxas that again was released quite recently, because sometimes I'll write a melody that I just really feel emotionally when I sing it, and I think for me that's one of those ones. Yeah.
Do the songs change much once they move from the studio to the live environment?
I don't know really. Maybe, I mean, I guess for me the vocals get stronger because it's just like the more you sing it, the more familiar you get with it, the more natural it feels.
Yeah, with the vocals, I'm never happy with the vocal takes with my vocal takes. I'm never happy with them on the record, but then over time, but because of the way that we do it, it's like we're always excited for the new song. So we'll start working on that new song first before we're able to get it into the live set. So we don't really practice the songs live before recording them. It's like it's the other way around. So yeah, I think the vocals tend, for me, like Karen's voice is amazing. So her voice is like, her voice is great on record and live. My voice is not so good on record, but it's better live. But I think the process of playing them live, yeah, they do. It develops, and in that same way with like we'd like to kind of map our sets out so that it's a continuous flow of music. So that it's not like play a song and then stop and then play a song and then stop. Like it's one continuous piece of music as much as possible.
Yeah.
So the songs are stitched together, and so we like find a way. So yeah, it develops in that way. Like the songs that kind of work well together, we'll literally stitch them together. So I think that there's a development in that way. And it creates a new piece of music out of like existing pieces of music.
So, as you said before, your music resonates with very different audiences within the alternative scene. Do you feel part of a specific scene or more of the outside of it?
I think that the UK music scene generally is really inclusive and welcoming, and obviously we both came from the punk scene, and so we started our gigs, even though our music's not really punk, we did start playing on some of the punk bills, and people enjoyed it, and so we feel welcome there. And then obviously the goth scene have really embraced us, and yeah, we've got so many friends, and we've made so many new friends in the UK goth scene. And I think particularly exploring around the north of England, we play quite a lot. The alternative scenes are so inviting and friendly, so that's been lovely. And then the electronic scene as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, really, really lovely. Met so many lovely, talented people. Yeah, including some festivals. We've done punk festivals, goth festivals, fairy festivals. Yeah, which I love. And so I feel part of all of the scenes, but that's part of my personality. Is I love meeting people, and so I've never been one to feel like worried about fitting in, because I'm just like, well, I am who I am, you know, and I just like getting to know people. So I think for me, it's been quite easy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in my heart, I'm an old man now, but in my heart, I'll always be a goth. Like from being a teenager, I was a goth, and even though I've gone through different phases in life, I think I'll always be a goth. And like, so I think that's the scene that I most feel connected to, and I think that the acceptance that we've received from that scene. But yeah, but like I said earlier, I don't want to close any doors, which is why we're never going to do one kind of music. It becomes its own kind of music because of the sum of its parts. So yeah, I don't want to close. You know, I'll play at metal. We'll play on metal nights. We'll play on indie nights.
We have actually. Yeah. That's been fun.
Yeah, and I think there's like this. You know, we've got that kind of big pulsating like bass on it that even on a metal night, that rumbling bass, it kind of like it feeds what a metal fan might want from guitars. It's got that rumbling bass so you know, like what I mean, it can't be for everybody. Not everybody likes it, but there is something that like I say, I don't want to close any doors.
And is there any festival or country where you would love to play someday?
Oh gosh, yeah. So we've only played in the UK. We're really keen to play in Europe.
Yeah.
I'd love to play in Berlin. I've never been to Berlin. Germany, anywhere in Germany would be amazing. I think some of the goth festivals, like is it Dark Malta?
Yeah.
I'd love, just because I want to go to Malta and have a holiday there. But it does look amazing fun anyway. So I think that would be cool. I don't know, Wave Gothic Prison, that'd be cool.
I think just like all of you, I'd love to tour like all of Europe.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's kind of a goal, definitely.
Yeah, like Palindrones. Yeah, I've got a 15-year-old daughter who she's doing Spanish and she's amazing at Spanish, so she'd have to come with us so she can translate. But where else? I think there's still, because like we played so many places in the UK, but there's still towns we've yet to play. So yeah, we've got a few plans already for some of the towns that we haven't performed in yet. Do you want to name those where that might be?
I'd like to. We've never played York. I'd love to play York.
Yeah, Margate.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
I want to play in Reykjavik. I want to play in Iceland.
Oh
I think that's a goal for me. Winter is coming. I want to play under the Northern Lights.
Oh yeah. Scotland. I'd like to play in Scotland.
Yeah, Edinburgh.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah.
We want to play wherever will have us.
Yeah. But actually,
you have to play in Spain.
Yeah, definitely.
In the Dark Festival, we've got a festival called Dark Festival or something like that in May. And your music fits well in that festival.
I know there's one called, I think it's called Barnadark, that I think is in Spain. Is it not that one?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I did notice there was one called.
I have got to check it, but I don't think.
Yeah, okay.
It's here.
Okay. But yeah, we'd love to play in Spain.
Definitely. Yeah.
We've got a friend Zarina who lives in Spain.
Oh yeah.
She's a great musician.
Big fan of Zarina.
Yeah. So we'd like to come and play with her.
Yeah. Definitely.
We live in. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. No, I'm just still thinking of the places we want to play, but yeah, go ahead.
So we live in a time of constant exposure and noise. Do you think that affects how dark or introspective music is perceived today?
I think there's pros and cons to it. Obviously, there's so many bands, there's so many people. You know, everything can be DIY now, which is great. You don't have to have loads of money to make music. We record at home. Everything we do is DIY, and I think that it's great. That means that everybody has a chance to make music. But yeah, it means there is so much music out there, and I don't want to say we're competing, but I guess that's the thing. It's like people have to pick one thing to listen to at a time, and
unless it's jazz, you can just like stack music on top of each other.
so I mean, I personally think it's a good thing, and I feel okay. You have to push it hard. We promote hard. Because otherwise you'll just disappear. Nobody will find you. And social media it's like a necessary evil that we have to use that tool to try and to get it out there. But yeah, I don't know. I think we're making it work. We're making it work the way we can, and I'm grateful for all the opportunities we get, and everyone that finds us and listens to us. You know, I can't really complain, I don't think.
And what inspires you more right now, the outside world or inner conflict?
I think it's the outside world, personally. I mean, yeah, we both kind of do chat about politics and what's going on, and you know, we're very aligned with how we feel things should be and what we agree. We agree with the way things would be better. So I think that a lot of that does inspire the subject matter that we sing about, I suppose. We write about.
Yeah, you know, let's not beat around the bush. The world is a pretty like scary place at the moment.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so much division, and you know, like you know, the society just seems to be ruled by hate at the moment.
Right. Exactly.
That's how it seems. But then, like on the ground, that's like the people. I don't know. Maybe we live in an echo chamber, but like the people that we know and the people that we experience, like this, you know, there's so much love and caring for and community.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't really understand how we've ended up with the people in charge, you know, being the way that they are. I don't understand how that like how that's ended up happening. And I think that definitely inspires, because of that sense of community that our music is intended to inspire. It definitely influences it.
Yeah.
But it's a feedback loop, because you know, because of how scary it is to just like exist in the world at the moment. I think that there's an introspection to it as well.
Yeah,
because it's letting those feelings out and finding a way to communicate them and trying to find a way to help. In what you know, if you can connect to one other person and help them to feel better, then you know that's the only reason. It's the only good fight there is.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's it. So much of our music is about embracing each other and working together, and yeah, just what feels naturally right. Which I'm always shocked when people are as hateful as they can be. Yeah.
And finally, for someone seeing Palindrones live for the first time, what would you like them to take away from the experience?
I think I want them to take away what they want to take away from the experience, hopefully in a positive way, because yeah, it's all around the same thing we've been discussing about working together and being a collective that just try to help each other. And it is, as we always say, we want to be an approachable band. We want people to come and talk to us and say hello, and you know, that's what I want, is like people to use it as a comfort, I suppose.
Yeah, I think like music is a therapeutic experience, and I think that is what it is for me. And I'd like that. I'd like, if there was one thing that a person was to take away from it, it is that to kind of receive that same kind of therapeutic experience from it, and to walk away feeling like they've been part of something significant, and part of and become part of a community.
Yeah.
That they can feel safe in.
But it's true. So when we're performing, I do sometimes see people just like with their eyes closed, just enjoying it. And to me, that I love that. And you know, I've had people come over and say, "Gosh, I just felt like I was floating on this wave of euphoria." I'm like, perfect. I'm like, I did my job. So yeah.